Hello and welcome to News Tonight. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Let's take a look at the top stories tonight. Keith Muhakanizi laid to rest at his home in Lyantonde. First Lady commends Algeria for scholarship program. While Nakaseke residents decry the poor state of their roads. And sports women physiotherapists passed out. Hello once again. The First Lady and Minister for Education and Sport, Janet Museveni, has appreciated the partnership between Uganda and Algerian government and the scholarship program that has benefited several Ugandan students for the last 30 years. The Algerian government has been offering over 100 scholarships to Ugandan nationals. The ambassador of the People's Republic of Algeria to Uganda had paid a courtesy call on the First Lady at State House, Nakasero.
Scholarship program administered by the Ministry of Education and Sports. The Algerian government has been offering over 100 scholarships to Ugandan nationals, and this was confirmed in a meeting held at State House Nakasero when His Excellency Cherif Koualid, the ambassador of the People's Republic of Algeria to Uganda, paid a courtesy call on the First Lady at State House Nakasero. The First Lady urged Ugandan students who qualify to fully exploit the opportunity of benefiting from the 100 scholarship slots granted by Algeria in the academic year, commencing in September this year. She also urged all those currently undertaking master's programs in Nigeria to return to work in Uganda on completion of their studies.
We are so grateful for these 100 scholarships for this year. And yes, we are looking forward to see that we benefit from all the 100. And there are those who are doing their master's degrees in Algeria. We hope that those also will finish and come home to work. But we are generally grateful, and we know that we are cooperating on other sectors also, agriculture, for instance. Algeria is willing to buy some of our agricultural products. And so we are really, really grateful.
Mrs. Museveni informed the ambassador that she's trying to get friendly countries with the expertise to help in the training of instructors for the technical institutions, especially in the fields such as road construction. She requested him to explore the possibility of the instructors for the technical institutes to be among those to benefit from the Algerian scholarship program. Ambassador Cherif Koualid expressed satisfaction with the cooperation between Algeria and Uganda in the field of higher education, saying that this cooperation solidifies the friendship between the two countries. He added on that Algeria is ready to increase the number of scholarships granted to Ugandan students. The ambassador updated the First Lady on the recent visit by President Museveni to Algeria, during which memorandum of undertaking in various fields, including that of higher education and scientific research, were signed.
Uganda and Algeria should extend and expand their cooperation in this field to other areas, not only scholarships, but because I think up till now we have been concentrating on scholarships program, students going to Algeria, but I think we need to enlarge and extend to other areas as staff exchanges, mobility of Ugandan graduate and postgraduate students, organizing joint scientific events, participation in courses, symposia and seminars, developing research projects of common interests, exchange of scientific and technical information, language exchange programs, master's and PhD courses, training programs for startup creation.
He added that Algeria is also ready to promote twinning agreements between universities to develop scientific research projects in all fields, especially artificial intelligence and student entrepreneurship. The meeting was also attended by the Director of Education Standards in the Ministry of Education and Sports, Francis Atim, and Peter Claver Simogere, personal assistant to the Algerian ambassador. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
And now the Uganda North American Association Special Envoy Zephania Seninde has asked government and non-governmental organizations to appreciate and support their former employees. Seninde was visiting the former workers of UBC who are ill, including Stuart Mutebi and Chiwanuka and Henry Kizito Divorce at their homes.
Uganda North American Association Special Envoy Zephania Seninde has asked employers to appreciate the contribution of their staff who develop health challenges. Seninde also made a passionate appeal to media practitioners to form cooperative societies and other social networks to help them during hour of need. Seninde was paying a compassionate visit to Stuart Mutebi Chiwanuka and Henry Kizito Divorce, both formerly active as staff of UBC, but now bedridden for close to 2 years.
Kakati kankudire kamalo kukwatagana n'omukyala mujjanjaba n'okwatagana naye ndabe saame kazazuukuka tulyoke tujje n'omusawo otandika okutujjanjabira omulwadde waffe. Naye osobola ku makya essaawa nga 3. Okay, nange njakera mu kanisa. Emengo oba Kisaasi? Kisaasi wemba kusinga kwaye tuvaawo tujja buzi wano bweyogerere.
Seninde visited Boyogere, the home of Henry Kizito Divorce, whom he supported with a consignment of items, including promising a medical doctor to treat him. He later went to the home of Stuart Mutebi Chiwanuka at Maganjo Kagoma and encouraged government and non-government organizations to always appreciate their workers whenever they develop life-threatening challenges.
Njagala bannamawulire nfune bakama baabwe tukoleyo ekibiina ekiyamba bannamawulire. Wakati gwakoleranga radio ate radio ya government ne kati oyinza okulwala n'otuuka n'okufa nga teri yategedde oba nga teri yafuddeyo. Kati ekibiina ekyo kinaabeerawo kibe nga kijjanjaba bannaffe tuleme bakozesanga mu bulamu ne mu biseera by'obulwadde tubeere nga tulina mmwe. Njagala nnyo kwebaza maama Divorce, mukyala Divorce. Ekintu kikulu nnyo, abakazi abasinga babba baabwe balwala nga badduka nga bagenda. Olaba naffe abakyalina abakyala betulowooza ddala nti batuufu naye batuuka ekiseera ngali oba mu bifo by'amaanyi oba si by'amaanyi nakulekaawo nga takulaba mu value.
Renowned former Star FM sports analyst Stuart Mutebi Chiwanuka commended Star FM manager Mr. Sensua, Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa, Mandela Group of Companies, among others, for their continuous support.
Bana bange bali bonna banjagala nnyo akati annake yabagamba kubanga tujja kujja mu kato kyogera n'ono yali musajja wakwe onaakola ebintu biba onaako okufa nandaba akola webale nnyo webale nyusi.
Sandra Kahonde, Salongo Kasibante for UBC News.
And communities living in Nakaseke district have petitioned State Minister for Kampala Affairs, also a son of the swirl Chofa Togavye Kabuye, to lobby for the repair of their roads. The busy village roads are reportedly often damaged by heavy trucks ferrying sand and other commodities from the area.
The communities also are encouraging the political leaders in the district to enact tough bylaws aimed at punishing reckless drivers.
Ebitagambibwako bissa amakubo gonna gafudde ne bw'obasanga bayumba bagamba emmotoka z'abanene era tubadde tusikubira gavumenti etuyambe ebimotoka ebyo ebigobere ddala bireme kukola ki okutta amakubo. Ekkubo ne balijjako engalo olwaleero enkeera ng'emmotoka biyitawo nga 10 ate bavuga bubi batomedde abantu babasse bayomba
kofe nga banabutuntumula nze nga nz'omu nnina ennaku kubanga obukubo bwaffe obwandibadde buyisa omulimi w'ennaanansi ow'akapikipiki n'ow'akagaali bwonna bwaggwaawo ge mazima zo zijja kwonoona bwonoonyi tetuganye oba oli awo mulimu betugamba nti balina emirimu naye zoonoona nnyo.
Residents were meeting with the State Minister for Kampala Affairs, also a born of the area, Chofatogabye Kabuye, at Chiwonko Town Council. He, however, requested them to remain calm as the NRM government is committed to rehabilitating all roads connecting to highways.
Bajita forward maintenance bajira batuterereza awabi nga bwe bakola enteekateeka zaabwe zikole ki zigweyo kubanga bwe baba amuwadde contract mwezi guno musuubira otaleka mugwa 7 kwaba mu emyezi 3 egy'okukuŋŋaanyizaamu ebikola n'okweteekateeka naye ngenda basaba bayiseemu kitrakita.
Chofatogabye said government is committed to tamaking Luwero Chiwonko, Butalangu, Ngoma, Wachato, Wobulenzi, Bamunanika, Zirobwe, Bugerere, Zirobwe, Chichusa, Nakasongola roads, among others. The minister also urged the general public that preparations are on to revamp Kampala city roads and appeal for support of the programs aimed at beautifying the city. Sandra Kahonde, Salongo Kasibante for UBC News.
Eastern Uganda is blessed to host the 2023 edition of National Labour Day celebrations in the Busoga district of Namtumba. A section of leaders in the region view this as an opportunity to sink deeper the message of wealth creation amongst the locals. State Minister for Housing, Pasis Namuganza, says road infrastructure remains one of the hindrances for farmers to access or easily access markets.
The last time Eastern Uganda hosted Labour Day celebrations was in 2017 in Parisa district. The head of state was subjected to both parade inspections and exhibition tours. This time, he and other Ugandans will have similar experiences in Namtumba district. Both area leaders and locals are prepared for the occasion.
The people of Namtumba are so happy. They are really warming up to receive His Excellency the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to share with him the challenges they have found in work and also the achievements they have gotten so far. The people have increased the coffee planting, and we are really booking him to at least tour some coffee gardens, meaning that the people have listened and heard his message and have taken the message seriously.
Behind this redness comes a message and opportunity for wealth creation, the same way it has been in other parts of the country. This, according to Minister Namuganza, will go a long way in changing people's mindset.
Remember, the president is already on his tour for Operation Wealth Creation. He has been to northern Uganda, part of it. He has also been to West Nile. And the people of Busoga, sub-region and eastern generally, they are also warming up to receive him. But now that he's going to make this mini visit of commemorating International Labour Day, the people feel like, yes, whatever message he's carrying will still be in relation to work and, in different fields, agriculture and what. That's why they are ready to share with him the achievements and also the challenges they are facing.
Namuganza, herself an area leader, is the Member of Parliament for Bukono County in Namtumba district. She highlights some of the hindrances towards improved livelihood in Busoga sub-region. These, she says, require immediate, medium and long-term interventions.
People are complaining about the bad roads. It's now a rainy season. So especially those district interconnecting roads, which very facilitate people to move their products from one area to another or from the garden to the markets. Those interconnecting roads are very bad. The people are also complaining about the bad seeds, the bad seedlings on the market, that even when they go to buy coffee seedlings, sometimes they don't get the best. People are lacking guidance where should they get really the real seedlings that will yield and give them what they expect, especially the farmers. They are complaining about the bad drugs, fake drugs on the market, the pesticides, so those, you know.
Uganda's 2023 edition of International Labour Day celebrations is to be held at Namtumba District Headquarters. It is being held under the theme, Promoting Positive Work Culture and Ethics, a prerequisite for increased investment, employment opportunities, and household incomes. Henry Okurut, UBC.
The Kasese district leaders have been urged to remain united as a pillar that can facilitate development in their area. This was communicated by State Minister for Local Government, Victoria Businge-Rusoke, during a belated Women's Day celebration for Kasese district held at Nyakasanga Playgrounds, Kasese Municipality.
State Minister for Local Government Victoria Businge-Rusoke says government finds it hard to extend services to communities that are not united.
We should put our political ideologies aside and look at what the people want and look at the government projects and make sure we supervise them jealously so that people get the services and get out of poverty, which is the biggest problem now.
The minister was representing the Prime Minister at a belated Women's Day celebrations for Kasese district held at Nyakasanga Playgrounds in Kasese Municipality.
We have learned that children are being sent home for school fees. And yesterday, the RDC put into action the rules, the regulations, which must be strictly adhered to by arresting a head teacher who had sent children back home for fees. So let's combine efforts. When we deprive these pupils of the free chance to get education, elevate themselves to vocational education, to university education, then we are enemies of development.
Kasese Women Council Chairperson Birungi Angela commended the NRM government for supporting women in the district through different programs that aim at empowering women. Kasese Woman Member of Parliament Kabugo Florence requested government to focus on supporting young mothers.
Now we are now into skilling. We are supporting government to skill these young mothers and the youth. Recently, I had about 167 girls who graduated on skilling, salon and hairdressing.
The Women's Day celebrations under the theme Equal Opportunities in Education, Science and Technology for Innovation and Gender Equal Future was attended by Senior Advisor for Renzori Affairs, Muhindo Christine, Special Assistant Advisor Western, Retired Bishop Nzibe de Masereka, RDC Kasese, Lieutenant Joe Walusimbi, among others.
A former apostolic nuncio to Belgium, Archbishop Augustine Kasujja, has urged the daughters of St. Paul to be models of social communication as they strive to bring an end to moral decay and corruption in society. Archbishop Kasujja made this call during Mass at Christ the King, Kampala.
Friends and relatives gathered at Christ the King Church Parish, Kampala, to praise and thank God for the life of Sister Violet Jimbo. The Daughters of St. Paul are an international institute of evangelism.
We thank the Daughters of St. Paul for all the challenges and the sacrifices they encounter in their apostolate to follow, to allow the Word of God reach the people. Not only Christians, but all people of goodwill. I invite the young people, boys and girls in our country and elsewhere to discover the priority of a life consecrated totally to voluntary renouncement, to chastity, and loving service to the poor or to the least privileged in our society.
Sister Violet Jimbo from Kawangasi Catholic Parish in Tororo Archdiocese is the second Ugandan after Sister Bernadette Nakagwarutaya, the local superior in Uganda, to make her final profession among the daughters of St. Paul.
May the grace of God help me to be faithful. Amen.
In a letter from the Superior General, Sister Anna Chaza, read by Sister Rosemary Mweni Mwaiwa, the message gave assurance that the Lord never abandons those who call upon Him.
The Daughters of St. Paul are a religious congregation called to serve the Lord through the means of social communication. We deal with new means of communication, the fastest means of communication. We have books, we print books that can help people get to know the Lord more and more. We have radio programs that we use to bring the message of Christ to the people.
The overjoyed sister who made her final profession promised to remain steadfast to the constitution of the Institute.
And on this wonderful day, let us give thanks to the Almighty God, for His love endures forever. And out of His merciful kindness, He has enabled us to reach this day, to witness and experience the gift and the joy of consecration. I thank the congregation of the Daughters of St. Paul for allowing me to belong and to become a part and a member of the family, where together we strive to give Christ to the world of today using the means of social communication. I too attest that I'm happy to belong.
Problem identification and problem-solving skills still remain a huge challenge among many adolescents. This was disclosed in a report disseminated by Regional Education Learning Initiative in Oyam District. Now, an estimated 33% of children aged between 13 and 17 could not identify and suggest solutions for a problem. Area leaders called for a concerted response to the challenge.
In August last year, Regional Education Learning Initiative, through its grassroots partner organizations, conducted an assessment to establish adolescent skills in problem-solving, collaboration, self-awareness, and respect as a value. At least 20 districts were sampled in Uganda, and the results are not pleasant.
Most of the assessed adolescents scored higher level, which is a level 4, under respect as a value. I see that our children were still struggling in problem-solving skill and then self-awareness as a skill. So we need to pull up.
Not yet been trained.
In the report, over 33% failed to suggest solutions to their problems. Only 2 could understand and suggest multiple solutions to a problem, while the majority lacked solutions.
The government prioritized these 3 skills as an advice to Alive. But also there are other skills in the new lower secondary curriculum that are being nurtured.
So we are discussing the way forward of what we can do with this poor performance.
A consultant with the Foundation for Inclusive Community Health, Victoria Nyango, relates this to the current surge of moral decay.
So you look at some of those very flimsy reasons that somebody has to go and destroy school property. They only have one perspective of how to look at that problem, which is, it is a very big problem. How I can solve it, I can destroy property, which is not the case. How about if they got student leaders to go and negotiate with the school administrators?
as RDC.
The district stakeholders welcomed the results, saying the skills are necessary to avert the flimsy reasons for which students destroy their schools.
When these life skills have been impacted well into the learners, they would first of all think, when I destroy this classroom, when I destroy the louvers, when I destroy the books, the problem will be mine.
So as a district, we shall take it to council and present it plainly, just the way it has been presented by Fitch, to make sure that we domesticate.
Assessment for life skills and values in East Africa report is a call to action for all to ensure all children have the needed life skills and values necessary to navigate the 21st century. Eddie Olwa, UBC News.
Meanwhile, pastors are attending Shinchionji Church of Jesus conference aimed at bringing all leaders together to reduce the increasing conflicts among the servants of God. The chairman, Shinchionji Church of Jesus, Manly Healy, in his message to the preachers, said religious leaders must read and understand the book of Revelations and put what they have learned into practice.
A number of religious leaders are attending a conference organized by Chichanji Church of Jesus in Nansana-Wakiso district. The conference's objective is to promote peace, unity, among others, among religious leaders despite their religion.
If we know this, we have to work really hard. And there's something I heard. I heard that the throne of God will come to this earth. Did you see the throne of God come to this earth? God didn't lie, right? Revelation 14, there is that throne of God right there. Revelation 14. What kind of people are gathered there? The fruits that are harvested. And the number was 144,000, the 12 tribes. They're gathered at Mount Zion, it says.
The conference was also held in Seoul, South Korea, and Chairman Manhili said the Bible is the only standard of faith and a map or a navigation to reach heaven. The head instructor of Chichanji Church of Jesus Uganda, Kim Yun-pyong, spoke about realities and meaning of the book of Revelation and called upon religious leaders to embrace it. The religious leaders were asked to clarify the truth of the Bible and desist from using their own thoughts.
Our Shincheonji Church of Jesus, we will work together with the government. We will develop many social activities. We will try to put on effort, hold many social and volunteering activities. I really hope you to be with us together.
The spiritual leaders said the conference was timely and promised to put what they have learned into practice.
Chinchanji has the word of truth, dear pastors and dear viewers who are listening to me. We only find the word of truth at Chinchanji.
Indeed, we need to know some things about the book of Revelation if we are to help our people.
A similar conference was also held in Seoul, South Korea, under the theme, The New Covenant Book of Revelation. Sodat Kaye, UBC News.
And the founder and leader of Faith of Unity, Homukama Ruhanga Wobsobozi Bisaka, has visited Nkole sub-region in Kizinda Town Council in Owokwenda of Bushenyi. His message to Alton unity and prosperity.
Omukama Ruhanga Wobsobozi Bisaka has encouraged the public to utilize government programs like Parish Development Model, a Myoga and Youth Livelihood Program in order to increase on their income and eradicate poverty. He advised the public not to politicize development projects like the good roads and peace.
Parish model,
Bushenyi Resident District Commissioner Robert Atuhire commended the faith for promoting unity, peace and obeying government programs for their development.
Bushenyi burekaba eliyentaro abantu barwana bali mumaka bakwenda kweheza konka batangire kureba umushana ate okwija kwawe ayi mukama ruhanga cyaza kongera obumwe omurushenyi kandi turagume turi kimwe ukurigera izuba kugenda mu misho.
During the same function, Owobusobozi confirmed 61 believers and asked them to act as witnesses of God by teaching people unity, oneness and peace. The two-day visit at Kazinda grounds attracted thousands of people, with over 300 converted into this faith.
Meanwhile, there was pomp and colour in Nyamugisa B village, Muhoro sub-county, Kajiado district, as an elderly veteran, Peter Rugambwa, celebrated his 90th birthday. Reverend Father John Baptist Kisembo of St. Mary's Kagadi Catholic Parish led the Thanksgiving Mass at the home of Muzei Rugambwa.
A priest in Kagadi district has appealed to Christians to desist from the vice of selfishness and jealousy, but thank God for the gift of life, wisdom and blessings from God. Reverend Father John Baptist Chisembo of St. Mary's Kagadi Catholic Parish was officiating a Thanksgiving Mass at the home of Muzei Peter Rugambwa in Mhororo sub-county, Kagadi district. He thanked people for supporting him, saying he worked for government in various capacities as a bodyguard to Kabaka Mutesa II in the 1950s, was a police officer, Saza chief, parish chief in 1960s, UPM party chairman 1980s, Minister for Peace and Justice Hoima Diocese before his retirement in 1981. His caretaker and daughter Alin Tumwakire says her father worked for government in various capacities and suffered a lot but was never recognized. A number of people in Kagadi admit that he contributed a lot to the community and ought to be accorded recognition. Muzei Peter Rugambwa Mashurubu was born on April 22nd, 1933 in Chibali district. He has 10 children and over 200 grandchildren.
Education stakeholders in Isingiro district have applauded government for prioritization of girl child education. This was reiterated at Mataboni Consili Girls Vocational Secondary School in Isingiro district.
The National Resistance Movement government's affirmative action that prioritized gender equity in education has over the years generated dividends. A case in point is at Mataboni Consili Girls Vocational Secondary School in Isingiro that has equipped girls with employable skills that have improved household income.
As far as girl child education, we are so grateful to the government of Uganda because it has empowered us, it has enabled us to even have a platform of training these girls. Now, for example, we have the student leaders. These run from the school and even to the districts and even to the national level through their association of students leaders. We thank the government for putting such platforms to enable our learners, to enable our students to be used of doing different responsibilities.
So we thank the government, we thank the NLM for supporting girl child education.
But amidst all that, Isingiro district still has prevalent early marriages and preference for boys ahead of girls in schools.
There are parents who believe girls should not go to school, and this is not good for sure. We are all born in the same process, we are all created by God, and we believe we are the same. But the notion of girls should not go to school, for sure it is not fair. Even the government of Uganda, they have embraced affirmative action mostly on women, and realize that women are so good. They are competent. They do the same roles as men.
Now, believers and Ugandans at large are being asked to desist from the spirit of homosexuality at all costs, as it has nothing good to offer except leading mankind to perish. Pastor Dorian Kamese of the Way to Heaven Church invites Christians to revisit the biblical way of life where man joins a woman to make a family.
Zero! It was pomp and flair as Christians of Way to Heaven Church marked 13 years of existence.
We give the glory and honor.
Apostle John Bunjo, who was the main preacher, congratulated the flock of Way to Heaven Church and Pastor Doreen Kamese upon this milestone, saying most churches collapse before their first birthday. Bunjo asked fellow shepherds to always work towards ensuring that churches sprout to create branches.
So I believe with that kind of exit, we shall be able to save the damage that is in our media and our churches today. It's really bad. I'm a Pentecostal, but I hate what I hear and what I see. Every day we have become a ridicule in the newspaper and everywhere.
It should be noted that the Way to Heaven Church started as a counseling center but later gained momentum and became a church with hundreds of worshippers. Pastor Doreen Kamese attributed this success to the fact that it was founded on strong pillars of Christianity. It is right here that she called to believers and Ugandans at large to desist homosexuality as it threatens the existence of mankind.
We should not permit human wisdom to consume us. And whether you're a man or woman, cast that man away. Should never come in the name of Jesus.
We are going the other round way that God did not allow us. He created that place for better things. Men, what is your problem? Women, you're not supposed to marry your fellow women. God created you to be married to a man. What is not happening? Why don't we come back and read the Bible and do the right thing? If you're there and you're listening, we don't promote homosexuality, we don't like it. As the Way to Heaven Church, we cancel it in Jesus' mighty name.
The call comes at the time when government is enacting an anti-homosexuality legislation.
And therefore, we pray that whosoever digresses and goes against the teaching of God comes back to the Word of God and comes to follow the real teaching of God, because in the beginning He created everything, man and woman, and therefore if we begin having situations where men go for men, then there is a problem.
And the Bishop of Namirembe, Wilberforce Chityo Luwalida, has welcomed the departure of Church of Uganda from its British counterpart after the UK supported same-sex relationships. He supported the decision at a Sunday service held at St. Peter's Church of Uganda, Chisasi.
The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Chityo Luwalida, has hailed the move by Church of Uganda to unfasten itself from the Church of England.
We are talking about some people from the West who have come with an agenda with the intention to erode our values, our norms, and our identity. They have started doubting the authority of the Word of God. Chichibano chibaliko twebaza Katonda olw'abannaffe abagenze era ne decisions zebakoze okunyweza ekisibe ekyabakwasibwa.
Chityo Luwalida was on a working visit to St. Peter's Church of Uganda, where he was welcomed by the area Archdeacon Venerable Emmanuel Sewanyana.
Tusanyuse nnyo okukulaba mu busumba buno obw'ekisaasi. Abantu baweranga 1,000 nga 5 okusoba mu kko nga bagenda kunyweza okukkiriza kwabwe Mukama waffe Yesu Kristo.
Luwalida seconded the move to break away from the Church of Uganda on issues related to supporting homosexuality.
Strong and courageous and stand firm on the truth of the Word of God. Our God is more than able to defend us.
Bishop Luwarira later confirmed the children and urged them to stick to their faith.
At the baptism of an infant, that infant, all those infants, could not make much sense of what was happening around their lives, because it is a decision by the parents and godparents to present them to the fellowship of believers, and then they are received into that fellowship through the rite of baptism.
Luwarira asked the parents to be cautious during the nurturing of their children.
Even surrendered their baptism certificates with an affirmation that they were baptized according to the rites and the ceremonies of the Anglican Church. And you have brought them for confirmation. According to us, that's where they belong. You take them somewhere else, it's between you and your God.
Bishop Luwarira is expected to retire as the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese December this year.
His preaching was really very good, especially sending a message to our children, but not only to our children, also to we as parents. It was really highlighting the parenting nature that is required, especially in the current situation of these lesbians that is going on. It's really very pertinent that
I believe it is the last pastoral visit that Bishop Luwarira is making to this parish as the Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, because come December he's going to retire. So we feel delighted that he has found time to come and share with us.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
The late former Permanent Secretary Office of the Prime Minister Keith Mwakanizi has been laid to rest at his country home in Ramayongo, Lyantonde district. The funeral service was attended by, among others, the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabbanja, Deputy Speaker of Parliament Thomas Tayebwa, ministers, friends, family, friends and relatives.
Amina. Aikatondo kusasira.
And with that, let's take a quick break. When we return, more details.
Talk with freedom. Get MTN Freedom voice bundles that don't expire. Dial *100 *21# or my MTN app for more bundles. Together, we're unstoppable.
The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, under the auspices of the East African Community, will host the 10th East African Petroleum Conference and Exhibition 2023 from the 9th to the 11th of May 2023 at the Kampala Serena Hotel in Uganda. Take full advantage of the investment opportunities in the East African region's vibrant oil and gas sector. To find out more on how to sponsor, exhibit, or attend the 10th EAPCE 23, visit www.eapce23.eac.int.
Iwakato, this is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100 *1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy, because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sawuti 116.
Are Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Look no further. Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates, and now sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Plus, you can trust Airtel Money to get your money where it needs to go quickly and safely. Simply dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
It's the encounters with our majestic gorillas. The thrill of taking on the falls of the Nile River. The joy of discovering new traditions and a lot more. Join us at the 2023 Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo from the 26th to the 29th of April at the Commonwealth Resort, Munyonyo. Rediscover our country's uniqueness and see what the tourism sector has in store for you. Visit www.poate.co.ug to secure your spot and get set to learn, network and explore. The Pearl of Africa Tourism Expo is brought to you by the Uganda Tourism Board in partnership with Competitiveness and Enterprise Development Projects. Explore Uganda, the Pearl of Africa.
Glow as you are with the new Spark 10 series smartphone from Airtel in partnership with Tecno. Own the timelines with picture-perfect selfies using the 32-megapixel selfie camera, 256GB storage, G88 gaming processor, and a strong battery to last the whole day. Haha! Toakana.
The Spark 10 smartphone comes with free 3GB from Airtel and 100% bonus on weekly and monthly bundles every month for 3 months. So you can stay connected to a world of possibilities. Dial *100*5# to enjoy free data. The new Spark 10 is available in all selected Tecno shops countrywide. Airtel, the smartphone network in partnership with Tecno. Stop at nothing.
Welcome back. You are still watching News Tonight. In business news, in a bid to boost the country's economy, government has partnered with the private sector foundation, PSFU, to roll out the Trade Frontier Fund. This initiative program aims at supporting the growth of exports in Uganda with 22.5 trillion shillings investment in the span of 5 years, provided by government and the Serbian government, among other development partners. President Yoweri Museveni assented to the Trade Frontier Fund this week while hosting a Serbian delegation led by Internal and Foreign Trade Minister Tomislav Mimovic.
The Trade Frontier Fund was specially designed by the Presidential Advisory Committee on Exports and Industrial Development in collaboration with the Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat and the Private Sector Foundation Uganda. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni launched the fund recently, and it is geared at supporting the tourism industry and agriculture subsectors of coffee, dairy, fruits, vegetables, flowers, sugar, poultry, beef and fish, among others.
I would like to use this opportunity to launch the Trade Frontier Fund, which will help exporters to underwrite their invoices and provide them with working capital. We will continue to increase this fund. I thank the Committee on Exports for finding ways to leverage and match the funds we are giving them to ensure the fund expands and helps many more exporters. I also thank them for connecting with our scientists so that we can commercialize their findings with the private sector. I thank the Private Sector Foundation, the UNDP and others who have joined the effort to increase our exports, drive manufacturing and industry, and support the private companies.
Through the Trade Frontier Fund, private sector players will have access to returnable resources to support various aspects of the export process. These include invoice factoring, working capital, recapitalization, research and development, and value addition. The fund's main objective is to enhance the competitiveness of Uganda's export industries increase their capacities to meet international standards and demand, and ultimately increase foreign exchange earnings.
So we are also punching above our weight to say Uganda can form an Exim bank, export-import bank for her exporters. But if you say that now, everybody will say you need $40 million to do that. No, so we'll start with 1 million. Slowly we will get there if we have the right partnerships, if we have the right strategy, and if we have the right coordination. That's what we're trying to achieve.
Uganda has been experiencing persistent balance of payment deficits, which occur when a country's imports exceed its exports. This leads to a decrease in foreign exchange reserves, potential economic instability, and ultimately a weaker economy.
Excellency, we are extremely happy as private sector. We've been facing issues regarding access to patient capital, and even when we access it, the terms of the instruments available are very stringent. Many times exporters are unable to meet their contractual obligations, and we are extremely happy that you've been able to contribute to this fund, and a round of applause for His Excellency.
This investment is expected to stimulate job creation, reduce poverty, and ultimately improve the lives of Ugandans. Wadulo Makanold, UBC News.
And salt miners and dealers on Lake Katwe in Busongora Sub-County Kasese District decry the price of their salt product. They attribute this to the lack of customers, which is affecting salt extraction activity. They say on several occasions they are left out when it comes to government programs for economic transformation. They want government to have proper plans of developing the salt mining activity and look for potential markets for their products.
Katwe is found on the outskirts of Queen Elizabeth National Park, covering approximately 8 square miles. Its shores are lined with small ponds of water from which salt is extracted, with a population of over 5,000 people depending on salt mining activity.
So the first peak season of harvesting salt begins from early January to mid-March, and the second peak season begins from July to mid-August. During the peak season of harvesting salt, it attracts many people from different corners of the country.
Asimwe Rita is one of the salt extractors found carrying out her daily routine of salt panning, where she has spent many years in the activity to look after her family and her well-being.
Nze nazaalibwa wano ate eno bizinensi wetufunira buli kimu oba school fees oba kulya.
And this is one of the oldest salt deposits in Africa, and one of the primary industry which is still existing in Africa. And the salt that we extract from here is natural salt. It's just a free gift of nature.
It's noted that every pan, depending on the size, can obtain around 100 to 120 sacks of salt, which is packed upon harvest to avoid evaporation and wait for potential customers.
Kati omunyo ogusooka gwe tufuna ebeera ku road salt guba gwante. Oguddako guba gwa maliba guno gwe bassa ku maliba ne gakala. Oguddako guba gwa bantu.
We've been using it for many years. We've never had any case of iodine deficiencies, like goiter, like growth retardation. So it's the best salt to use in homes.
According to Asimwe, a lot has been achieved and doesn't regret doing this activity since she has been able to educate her children and cater for herself. Asimwe says she encounters a number of challenges in the due course, like weather changes, low market prices, among others, that need to be addressed.
Kati fe abakyala eri mu nnyanja enene tetugendayo kuba amazzi mawanvu goonoona wa private parts.
Now, salt miners want the government to come out and help them to find a market and add value on the salt products.
One of the biggest challenges here is low levels of technology. We've not gone very far to see how best we can add value on our salt so that we can take it in the world market.
During an interaction, miners revealed that they have not benefited in any of the government's programs that would enable them to change lives like other people.
Naye nsaba government nti bweba ereta program endala nge ya PDM ejukire nti waliyo ba minors tibabesinga nnyo
They want the Ministry of Tourism, Wildlife and Antiquities to continue investing in the lake since it is one of the tourist destinations to attract a number of both local and foreign tourists, hence increasing revenue collections. Extraction of the salt from Lake Katwe is done by hand by both men and women, and it involves standing in toxic, chest-deep water for hours at a time to extract salt. The miners have constructed large semi-permanent pools around the edges of the lake to intensify the evaporation through which salt crystals form.
This is a quick call. I'm almost out of minutes. Now, the center.
Why rush through such important conversations? Airtel Uganda has made it possible for you to call across all networks in Uganda at the best rates with the new Bona voice bundles. Stay connected anytime, anywhere, with minutes valid for calls on all networks. Dial *100*1#. Select voice bundles and select Bona voice bundles today. Airtel, the smartphone network.
And in sports, Uganda's sports medic human resource stock has been increased and improved after 5-day sports physiotherapy training. This workshop was held at Mestil Hotel in Kampala. It was a women-only workshop enabled by National Council of Sports.
After 5 days of thorough training from German Lutz Meissner, 40 Ugandan women have been passed out with updated sports physiotherapy knowledge.
What we have been not only dreaming but planning for a long time has come to pass. We're looking forward for a time when we embark on sports development agenda that's arisen within our mandate as council. And we see this as the first cohort in that direction.
This lot of women are going to help address ethical issues that arose when women athletes were attended to by men.
I want you to distinguish yourself through practically making your relevance known to the athletes. Because that's what will make you a star like him, but also set a legacy for us. We are also cognizant, as a member of government, to limit risk that come with exposing our athletes to male physios, whom you know are professionals, but also there are many other forces. So we know that now our ladies will be in the safe hands, among others.
Recently, when we were at the National High Altitude Training Center in Terieta at Kapchorwa, we got a report that many ladies are being sexually harassed by the physios. But also we found the ladies athletes also are harassing sexually the physios. Because they also continue to touch here, up, and the man feels like, how far up should I go? But because he's professional, he continues trying to think he's healing the pain in the muscle when actually he's being sexually harassed. And so, our question was, how can we get a solution for this? We had a minister and he said, I think we need to improve in having more physios trained, especially the ladies.
This all-round hands-on athlete test therapy training is a brainchild of National Council of Sports that is intent on sports human capital development.
This is a drop in the ocean as far as the much-needed capacity building for physiotherapists, sports doctors and all that is concerned. But at least it's a starting point. What we look ahead to do as National Council of Sports, first of all, is that when we redevelop the Lugogo Sports Complex, we want to have a nice state-of-the-art physiotherapy center where we can have these people that have got hands-on training, that are already also trained by the different universities, to be able to be stationed there, given the proper equipment and a good workspace, where all sports related injuries that have been treated by doctors could now help the athletes to be able to rehabilitate them, to make sure that they recover fully.
The participants that included active physiotherapists and students pride in the knowledge from arguably the best medical trainer in the world.
From this workshop, I've learned how to train athletes progressively, like through workout, like warm-ups, and then mobility, then ending with stability. Yeah, and I've also gained some equipments like TheraBands, which can help me maybe with the patients I have. So I'm just somebody at everything.
During the 5 days, participants were tutored on, among others, therapy and training, first aid, passive and active treatment, and acute intervention. John Barnes, Sentamo, BBC News.
Well, that does it for News Tonight. For now, we do return at 10 o'clock with more details. I am Rhoda Ngonzi. Do stay.
Inspiring Uganda.